And you played wide receiver in college, and then you transitioned to tight end. Did you have any say in that at all? Or were you just called into an office one day and they were like, you're a tight end now?
Yeah, I kind of knew actually before my college career was over that I was being scouted as a tight end. I mean, I was one of the heaviest wide receivers probably in football history. But I was still athletic enough, at least in the Ivy League, to continue to play wide receiver. Our offensive coordinator at the time could have moved me to tight end, but he loved having a big body wide receiver out on the edge. And quite honestly, I loved it too. But by my last year in college, like I was moving into tight end, putting my hand in the ground, doing traditional tight end things, but really only in games. I didn't practice it. I started practicing it after my college career was over, before the draft. But it's not like I had any say in it. It's like if the NFL is offering you a job at a certain position, like
you're not gonna be like, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna
do something else. Yeah. And so, other than maybe that specific position change, what would you say was the hardest transition from college football to playing in the NFL?
I was just talking to somebody about this. Football is an interesting sport because there's actually, and I might have a kind of a niche opinion on this, but I feel like there's a lot of people walking around that could play a couple of snaps in the NFL. Like from just a physical output perspective. Like the same can't be said about the NBA.
Yeah.
NBA like is different from a height perspective, a skill perspective. Football is one of those sports where like if you are strong, fast, and work hard, like you can go really far. You know what I mean? To a certain extent, that was kind of who I was. And I had a really great first day of practice. And after that day, I had pulled my hamstring. And the coach, our offensive coordinator and head coach, walked up to me, up to my locker after the practice. And he was like, Seth, like, you're a good player, but you got to figure out how to stay on the field and do this every day. The NFL season is July through February, and we start playing in April to get ready, which means you're playing football for the majority of the year, every day, right? So what really makes a pro and separates pros from just the rest of the population that may look like a pro is the ability to get up and do it every day. And like the Ivy League schedule is kind of a sprint. It's a very short season. You're home by Thanksgiving. And like, it's a physical grind, but it's not the long grind of an NFL season where like you got to take care of your body. You got to learn how to be competitive at 95% and not always just at 100%. There's a lot more that goes into being able to roll out of bed and play football every day than a lot of people realize, than a lot of college football players realize. And I happen to be one of those. But, over the course of my career, I've gotten a lot better at that. And, injuries still happen. But some of the, soft tissue injuries I struggled with early on, I don't struggle with anymore. So I would say the biggest adjustment wasn't necessarily skill-wise. It was how to maintain your body for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do say the best ability is availability.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what you're hinting at.